So, American cars have been around for over 100 years, and while the American auto industry has had more ups and downs than a rickety wooden roller coaster, but the past 50 years have been especially tedious for those American automakers. And despite the fact that the big three have kind of gone through being almost broke at least a few times, once in the 70s and then again in the 2000s, they're still around and they're still making immense amounts of money and all sorts of cars, and they have a great influence over car culture, especially in the United States. But if you were to compare the Chevy economy cars of today to the ones of the 50s, they wouldn't compare. Everyone wanted a 1955 Chevy, and it wasn't even that crazy of a car. It was basically like a Chevy Traverse nowadays. And I know cars are different nowadays, but it didn't capture people in the same way that the 55 Chevy did. And that's what Detroit's missing. And that is the innovative spirit. Everyone's kind of complacent nowadays. And it's not just Detroit, because it's happening in every other major, car making country. And I would say that the only people that aren't really super complacent nowadays are Kia and Hyundai. And they're making, I'm not going to compare the Hyundai Sonata or whatever to a 1955 Chevy because they don't compare. But a Volkswagen GTI or even a regular Golf, or I guess more of a Honda Civic sort of car, is like a 1955 Chevy in the fact that it's not super fast, it's not fancy at all, but it still kind of captures the imagination and people can modify them and do their thing with them and have a good time. Whereas most of the domestic cars, except for like some real obscure Pontiacs and stuff from the 2000s, haven't had that wow factor. And yeah, you can get that in a $50,000 Camaro, but unless you want to sell a kidney and mortgage your house, you don't really have the option of buying a Camaro. At least most people don't. And that's what the American auto industry has lost, or at least that's one of the things. And another thing is quality. And ever since Ford got the great idea to make basically a car bomb, but without the explosives, you just, poorly install a gas tank and you've got a flammable Pinto. The quality of American cars has gone down, and there have been more recalls of General Motors and Ford and Dodge products in even the last 10 years than there are criminals in any given jail. Like, there are so many cars that have gotten recalled for stupid things from the big three, like ignition switches. You'd think that would be something that would be easy to get right, or if there was one that goes bad, it's just, a few, and they can recall that. But it was like a multi-billion-dollar settlement. It was some big scar on GM's and Ford's, records, and a bunch of people got killed because, let's turn on the car.
That's a good one.
You can go boom. Just trying to turn the car on to go down to Walgreens to pick up some milk. And same thing with the tires on those Ford Expeditions back in the day. Like, they